The corruption trial of New Jersey Senator Robert Menendez is off today, but it will resume on Monday. One of the jurors had to be dismissed as she had a long-planned vacation. On Monday, the alternate will replace juror number 8, and deliberations will start all over from scratch. Now, Dominic sat down with that former juror, number 8, today, and she explained what was going on in the jury room.
What was going on in that jury room?
I say on all charges, he's not guilty. And then I started going around all the charges and letting them know how I felt. And they said, oh, so you're not going to change your mind? And I said, no, I'm not going to change my mind. To me, they were holding on because they knew that Thursday was my last day. And that maybe once Evelyn leaves, maybe they can change everybody else's mind. See, that's how I felt.
You were replaced as a juror because of your long scheduled vacation. But there are some that will say we're talking about the fate of a United States Senator, the balance of the United States Senate that is so closely divided, that perhaps you should have canceled your vacation. Did you consider canceling your vacation?
Yes, I thought about it, that if it would have been just my husband and I going on vacation, I could have changed the date. But since it's my husband's birthday gift, my mother's 80th birthday gift, and a wedding, I couldn't change it. I just couldn't change it. But you don't know how much I wanted to stay to put my verdict in.
Count 18. You all voted to convict Senator Menendez. But then, a day later, you changed your mind.
They started swaying me and making me believe that no matter what, he was still supposed to put it down. So then I changed my mind and I did.
So all of you voted for a conviction on count number 18?
Yes. Then when I got home and I started thinking about it, and then I started praying on it, I felt God talking to me, saying, Evelyn, if you had doubt, remember the word, unreasonable doubt. If you had doubt, you weren't supposed to say he was guilty. So I went back into the room and then I explained to them.
So you changed your mind?
I changed my mind, and then when I gave them my reason why, when I told them the reason why I felt that way, and I gave them different reasons and how I felt it, then the others felt the same way, say, oh, that's a really good reason. And then some people changed their mind.
You have said to the remaining jurors, do the right thing. What does that mean?
What that means is to make sure that when we were talking about doubt, and you're not sure, and you doubt, then I don't think you should say, lock him up. Say he's guilty. Because if you're not sure, you should always say no. So that's how I felt about that. So I just told them, if you're not sure, there's no facts. You saw there were no facts. They didn't prove no facts. Just make the right choice. Don't let nobody make the choice for you.
What role did Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina play with the jury and you as a character witness for Menendez?
He was just showing that Senator Menendez works with Republicans and the Democrats. So I thought that that was very nice that he did that.
And what about Senator Cory Booker?
Oh, Cory Booker touched my heart. He really did. Especially at the end, when he told us, Senator Menendez started off with him when he started off in Newark, and how he helped him and no one else didn't want to step up to the plate to do it. And then he also said that Senator Menendez never forgot where he came from, and he always go back to help. That really got me. That really got me. Really, really touched my heart.
You feel not guilty?
Not guilty on all the counts.
Why?
Because the government didn't show me enough facts.
You told us yesterday you believe a hung jury. Do you still feel that way?
Yes, I still feel that way.
Why?
Because there were definitely at least 4 that were sticking to not guilty. There were 4 definitely saying not guilty. I don't think they're going to change their mind. They felt the same. They felt just like me. They were standing their grounds.
Sum up your experience on the jury in just a couple of words.
My experience, it was sometimes it got a little boring, and sometimes I got a little tensed. I never felt any pressure, and I learned a lot with politics in that courtroom. I never knew so much politics until I learned in that courtroom.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Well, we're getting a report from inside the jury box and kind of a civics lesson all in one there. Dominic, what's your sense of this woman? Was it your sense that she was trying to convince other jurors to come to her position, or that she was just holding firm and she wasn't going to vote guilty regardless of what everybody else did?
Well, first of all, there are certain things that we cannot reveal in terms of the conversation that we had with her. For example, it's been written about, but she wrote a note that she wanted, a letter she wanted Judge William Walls to see. And we actually saw the note today, and so we did not include that in the story. She's a strong-willed person. She wasn't trying to convince others, but she says, down the line, not guilty on everything. What's interesting, count 18. According to what she says, they voted to convict Menendez, all 12 of them. And that's where she felt a little pressured. And she told me, we didn't put it in the story tonight, that she went home and cried. And when she went home and cried, and then came back the next day when they wanted to move on to other stuff, she said, no way, I'm changing my vote, not guilty.
Was she feeling pressured when she originally cast that vote?
She said that she wasn't feeling pressure, but one of the things that we left out of the report tonight is she talks about her relationship with the jury foreman, and we don't, obviously this case is very much in the air right now. We don't want to play a role in terms of influencing the outcome or influencing a possible mistrial, so there are certain things that we left out of the report tonight.
Remind us what count 18 is.
Thank you, I'm glad you brought that up. Count 18, they're facing 18 counts. Right. Senator Menendez and Dr. Melger. And what I found interesting, there are lots of things that went on that she does not know, or did not know. When you see Dr. Melger in court, he's there with a business suit on. The jurors don't know that there are 2 federal marshals behind him at all times because he is a federal prisoner. Dr. Melger, that's already been convicted of Medicare fraud, and so he goes to Essex County Jail every night. The jury does not know that. So it's going to be, I have a funny feeling that Monday is going to be an explosive day in court with Judge Walls. You can bet your bottom dollar on it. The defense is going to demand a mistrial. I don't see that happening because it would put the government at a tremendous disadvantage because the defense has already seen the prosecution's entire hand, and all they have is circumstantial evidence at best.
Mistrial because she's been talking to you? Or because
I'm not going to say that.
Because she's been talking to the press.
Because she's been talking to the press, yes. And so, but there was no gag order against this juror. We did not go up to, and would never go up to any of the other jurors. They were all escorted by federal marshals. We spoke to her on public property. She wanted to speak to us, and she was determined to get her voice out.
Richard, you're an attorney. I'm going to ask you to play one on TV now.
Stuff at the Holiday Inn also.
very, very nice. When you hear what she's saying about that count 18, that it was everybody else voted guilty, so did she, and then she turned it around. She's not on that jury anymore. That sounds like bad news for Senator Menendez.
Well, see, count 18, just reminding us, is falsifying
the Senate disclosure forms.
Exactly, which could be you not putting income that you received or gifts or something like that.
But that's still criminal, right? It's not.
Of course,
like an internal ethics.
Yeah, it's a federal document. Absolutely, even any legislator could be accused of that because everybody in state and federal government have to do that. So look, ultimately, what happens here is that first of all, jurors that are currently active, the judge will tell you, do not discuss this case with anybody. Do not pay attention to any media. Do not search the internet about this case. Don't do anything. Act as if you are in a dark cave.
Right.
Okay. So she is, without any instructions from the judge about what she should do after she's dismissed, she's free to talk about it, as is any juror.
No, I get that. But if she's telling us, if she's telling Dominic, it was unanimous guilty on 18 until I changed my mind.
Right.
That's got to think that that's leading towards guilty next week.
Maybe, but it depends on how this alternate juror who's there during that whole deliberation.
And what she also explained to us, I didn't mean to cut you off, counsel. What she also explained is that there are 3 or 4 other holdouts. So this, by all accounts, remember, all we knew was that they were behind closed doors, but we knew something was terribly wrong. There's been no request for readbacks of testimony, no request for copies of evidence. And so according to juror number 8, they voted twice, only twice. It's 18 counts for each defendant. And the second vote, she felt that they tried to run out the clock with her to get her off the jury.
Richard, 10 words or less. Ripe for appeal no matter how it turns out based on what we know?
Always.
That's less.
Always right for appeal. And if it's a mistrial, prosecution gets a second bite at the apple.
We'll leave it there. We'll take a break. When we come back, Joe Biden and Mitt Romney, 2 blasts from the past who are now talking about their futures in politics. Do they have a chance or has their time passed?